It's not possible. I didn't say it would be easy, Neo.
Video parole is called back to order. The time is 10:06. Our next case is Mr. Troy Grimes. Mr. Grimes, would you give us your full name and DOC number, please?
Troy Grimes, 308854.
Mr. Grimes, let me explain our process to you. First, I'm going to read some information into the record, and then we're going to conduct a parole interview with you. At the appropriate time, we will allow those persons who wish to have input to speak. Here at headquarters, you have several people in support of your parole. Some wish to speak and some are just here for support. Mr. Daniel Swan is here, wishes to speak. I'm not sure if he's here or on Zoom. He may be on Zoom. He is on Zoom and wishes to speak. Miss Zeta Trammell is here in person, here for support. Gregory Laverne, your brother-in-law, is here at DOC headquarters and wishes to speak. Sean Jackson, who is a friend, is here in person but does not wish to speak. And Miss Ardana Winbush with Stickup, Louisiana, is here. I'm not sure she wishes to speak or not. You wish to speak, ma'am? Okay. After we have everyone's input and we have a hearing, you'll have an opportunity to say whatever you'd like to say for the to the board, and then we'll vote. Do you understand our process, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is the matter of Troy Grimes, DOC number 308854. Date of birth is September the 10th of 1971. He's classified as a fourth felony offender. He has a parole eligibility date of August the 1st of 2021. An adjusted good time date of July 30th of 2034, and a full term date of March the 14th of 2042. He is currently serving a 45-year, 2-month, and 3-day sentence on the charges of illegal possession of stolen things after having been revoked, contraband, illegal possession of stolen things after having been revoked, forgery after having been revoked, and armed robbery. Does that sound accurate, Mr. Grimes?
Yes, sir, it does. Yes, sir.
Mr. Grimes, your case has been assigned to Ms. Wise. She will begin our process of the interview with you. Would you please answer any questions she may have?
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ms. Wise.
Morning. How's you doing? How you doing?
I'm blessed. I'm blessed.
Good.
Blessed to be here this morning.
Say what now?
I said I'm blessed to be here this morning.
Amen. I agree. I agree. So, Mr. Grimes, tell us how long you've been in jail this time on this charge.
A little over 25 years.
25 years. Okay. And how old are you today?
52.
Of your 52 years, I'm showing you a fourth offender. How much of your life would you say you spent in jail? How many years?
Roughly 80%.
So about 30 years, maybe 35. You're 52. How much?
At least 35.
35 years of your life in jail. Okay. When I look at your record, you lost 384 days of good time in this 25 years of time, but you've earned 345 days of good time. So call out for me the top 3 programs that really made a difference that you've taken.
Top 3 programs was Thinking for a Change, Victim Awareness, and the drama club in which I was a part of that offered numerous of programs within its organization, and mainly self-discipline and positive decision-making. That had the most impact on me throughout my incarceration, because it really gave me a chance to reflect back on how my crimes affected other people and the decisions that I was making. There wasn't mistakes, there was decisions that caused detriment. It was almost detrimental to people's lives. So I think that was the most impactful program that I have taken.
The drama club is where you got the decision-making skills, or was it Thinking for a Change?
It was both, but it was primarily the drama club.
Good, good. Is the drama club still in action or is it resolved? Ain't that kind of got?
That's when I was at Angola.
Gotcha.
They don't have any program. They don't have their club here.
Great. Okay. All right. It's funny that you would say that because that's the thought I had when I first started talking to you, said about your decisions. That young lady that ended up having to resign because she was bringing coffee in. She thought she was bringing coffee in, and she was bringing a cell phone in.
Yes,
You know,
ma'am.
I thought about it. Have you thought about how you impacted her future, her children's future? Speak to that.
I met her nephew who was a captain at that place. And daily, I offered apologies for that because her life I couldn't change. You know, I only went to lockdown. I got charged. And it really wasn't an impact on me. But her, she lost her whole future, and I could never change that. And I offered apology to her nephew, which is a captain in the cell block at Cotton Port, and it was all I could do. And I just hate the fact that I made these decisions to impact the people's lives that I did, unlike my own, because I'm already in prison. And that took a real effect on me. Because of that, outside of my victims, in which I impacted their lives in the crime that I committed on the streets.
Yeah, I'm so glad to hear that you have reflected on that. That speaks volumes. Do you remember how old you were when you first got arrested or had contact with law enforcement? Do you remember? I'm talking about the juvenile.
I think I was 11 years old.
That's correct. And you know, and most guys don't get that right. But you're right. It was October the 7th of 1982. And it was a theft. And you've been stealing just, you know, ever since. And I don't want to go into your childhood because there's a lot said about an individual out stealing. And I know, you know, there's some other factors involved in that. And I hope that you've done some trauma healing while you're incarcerated. If not, I encourage you to do so for a young man to be out, you know, doing what you were doing at that age. But now you're an adult. Like you said, it's a decision now. I agree with that. And speaking of that contraband, you did get convicted of contraband charge on 322. I'm just stating this for the record. And you had the offense date was 1/17 of 21. You was arrested for 14 of 21, and you got 1 year to run consecutive CS to your current sentence. Tell me about this. You had a DB appeal on 8/8 of 23, and you gained 30 days. Tell me about that.
Last year, July 26th, I think, I was locked up along with roughly 60 other offenders. I was charged with putting money on cash apps to buy and sell drugs. And I vividly fought the write-up because I was putting money on cash apps. Throughout my incarceration, that's what I have done. Because I have a lot of friends that send me money. But if I have 4 or 5 people sending me $20, which would cost $8 to send $20, I would just put all the money on the cash apps. So that's what happened in that situation. And with me being charged with putting the money on the cash apps, I appealed it. And that I think that the 30 days was reinstated because the appeal is still pending in court. And my assumption is the appeal has been overturned and I just haven't gotten notice from the courts yet. That's my assumption from that 30 days being reinstated back to my good time date.
And I just want to speak a minute. Again, this kind of thing I'm just stating for the record. When I read your reports of your robberies, it was like your gain was like $53, $27. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And one of the things, I think what the one with the $27, you dropped 10 of it on the way out the store. So who were you then? What who were you?
I was a very, very lost individual who was, I could say, addicted to a criminal lifestyle.
So no, you were sober? Are you telling me you were sober? You were clean and sober, no drugs involved?
No, ma'am. I was high, I was drunk, full of drugs, alcohol, and everything at the time.
You were,
I'm
sorry, I'm not clear. You were full of drugs and alcohol, or you were not?
I were.
Well, okay.
And I were.
And I think on one of these incidents, you went to one store and you just went around the corner to another store at the same time. Yes,
ma'am.
Yeah, the mindset, I can just go in people's store and just take what I want.
That's the mind. That was the destructive mindset that I was in at the time. And like I spoke on earlier, I understand that those decisions that I was making then were living a criminal lifestyle. Mainly that's all I knew at the time. I'm reflecting on how I affected those people's lives. I mean, those people who had a gun brandished in their face by me, I could never comprehend the long-term effect that they have caused on these people, you know, with not knowing if they're gonna live throughout that ordeal. I was a lost individual. I was a lost man with no sense of direction at all whatsoever. And I was just randomly just doing any and everything, living a criminal lifestyle. And that criminal lifestyle has been imported on me since a juvenile, since I was 11 years old.
Let me stop you right there. I'm gonna stop you right there. And the record reflects just what you said. And even on supervision, when you had opportunity to talk to a parole officer, try to get some things worked out, you didn't. You was on probation June of 92, you got arrested August of 92. And again, 9/11, 92, 9/15, 92. Then you got revoked in 93, released in 96. Technical violation, released April of 96, technical violation December of 96, released again in 98, June of 98. New arrest 9/14 of 98, that's got us right back here. And you was revoked 9/24 of 98. So just, like you said, what you said, and the record reflects that's exactly who you were, a person that's living a criminal lifestyle. So, and I want to speak to when you said about the victim, one of your victims did have to get counseling. It did alter the way they saw the world because of your crime. And I just wanted to state that for the record. You also have law enforcement opposition to your release. And you do have some law enforcement that's unopposed to your early release. And I just want to state that for the record. Probation parole could not reach your family. So I urge you to kind of update your master screen and put some family members on there with some current numbers. So you got some support that's here now, but they're not in your records. I just wanted, it's a sidebar. I just want you to be aware of that. And you need to update your records in DOC with the name and phone number, current phone number of family contact. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
But there is no family contact.
But all these people are here now, whoever, it's just somebody to contact because you got support. Just put somebody on the record. So if something happened in DOC, there's somebody we can call who we got a correct number on that you can reach out to. Family or friend, just a contact. That's all I'm saying. Because you got your support as evidence here. Let's talk about your education. What you've been doing in this last how long you said you've been in this last 25 years? Tell us what you've been doing. What kind of trades you have? What's your education like now? Because it's very impressive from what I read.
I'm where I got my GED when I was 16 in LTI. I've been welding. I've been in the welding trade for right at 20 years. I have taught welding. I'm in line to teach welding here in the vocational school. And basically that's primarily where I have been putting all my skill into welding. And I done perfected the skill. I found something that not only do I enjoy doing, but I'm good at it. Right now I'm here with my welding boots on right now. I get up at 3:30 every morning. I pray, I work out, say my prayers, and I'll be ready for work. I'm on time. When I'm having a job, I'm there every day, and I take pride in what I do. Primarily for my education. That's basically where I have been focusing
But
on.
you didn't say that you got you completed it in 2015 at a technical college, right? You got a degree in it, a technical college in 2015. I just wanted to, was it Louisiana Technical College? I just want to state that for the record. That's impressive. This DOC does an assessment on individuals, and in your assessment, you had high for employment, so you've taken care of that. You had high for substance abuse. Do you think you need any substance abuse treatment?
No, ma'am. I haven't used a drug in over 25 years. I thank God for keeping me on that path. Like I say, my addiction was mainly a criminal lifestyle, even in prison. At the time when I made this decision with the lady who lost her job in criminal activity with criminal charges in prison. So I'm really blessed in that area. I am.
Okay, good. That's good to hear. And you do have a low tiger. I'm just gonna state that for the record. So if you're successful today, tell me, where would you live and how would you support yourself?
I would live at 650 North Ardenwood Drive, apartment 713, with Zeta Tremel, who I'm looking to marry as soon as I possibly can. She's out there in support of.
That's Zeta Moore, huh?
Okay, well, yes, that's her maiden name, because she was going through a divorce.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. My brother-in-law, Greg Laverne,
okay,
been having business established for over 30 years. I'm supposed to be a painter for him upon my release right now with a salary, so I could sustain myself with that until Daniel Swan, who's in support of me on Zoom right there, helped get me in the union and get me into the welding field where I could really upgrade my pay scale and just hopefully live my life welding, because that's what I really enjoy doing and that's what I'm skilled to do at best.
It sounds good. It sounds good. I think I've covered everything that I had in my notes that I wanted to cover. You had quite a few girlfriends in this history. Got quite a few names of girlfriends in your history. We need to get that kind of settled, get that, make some decisions on that as well. And I was impressed that you were. We got two letters from you. Got two letters of support in the record, and one of the letters of support is from Mr. Chavez, that said that y'all been doing Bible study for the last 12 years.
Yes, ma'am.
Speak to that.
He's 73 years old. He works out every day. He's a Jehovah's Witness. We speak and we pray as much as possible. He's been a spiritual supporter of me for many years. He's phenomenal. He's in good health. He's in a sound mind. He was married for 46 years. His wife died about 6 years ago. We have two beautiful sons that's in, their professions are outstanding. He has a cousin, a niece that's like a daughter to him. She's a U.S. diplomat in Africa. He's a beautiful person, and he's really been supporting me spiritually, financially, mentally. He's really a blessing. He's a blessing.
Good to hear. Now, so and I want to be clear, your last write-up was that Contraband, March 2nd of 22, right? That's your last write-up?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, that's all I had. Thank you for answering my questions. Warden, what can you tell us about this young man?
Good morning, Ms. Wise.
Yes,
He's doing pretty good. Currently, right now, he's working in our maintenance department. He's doing a lot of welding projects due to our expansion here at Allen Correction Center. He's been doing a lot of assigned tasks to do some fabricating for some televisions down the walk and some water fountains. Been doing a very, very good job in that particular area.
All right. Thank you, Warden.
Mr. Freeman?
Okay, when did you say your last write-up was?
My last write-up was August the 31st of 22.
Okay.
It was a,
Why did
there
you
was
let me
a
say that? Let me say that.
What was the property? What you did?
I was transferred to a cell on lockdown that had a birthmark on the wall, and when the officer observed the birthmark, he wrote me and my cellie up saying that we put the birthmark there from smoking. Obviously, I don't smoke, haven't smoked, never in my life, but that was the, and I had to pay $100 for that birthmark on the wall.
Okay, thank you.
829 is like, yeah, wait a minute.
Okay, now we hear from your supporters, Mr. Daniel Swan.
Hello, how you doing?
Doing very well, sir. Thank you.
I appreciate you guys for letting me speak. I've been knowing Troy for a long time. Unfortunately, I met Troy when I was also in Louisiana State Prison back in the early 2000s. And first, I want to just thank you guys for allowing him to come up, because I know it's real hard for you guys to determine, you know, who you want to give a chance to just by people saying, you know, some people might say good things, some people might say bad things, and then you look at a couple pieces of paper and you might have to come up with a decision. And I understand how hard that is, that could be with you guys. But I'm here to let you know that I've been with Troy when he was in his worst times, when he lost some of his family members, you know, when we was going to welding school, because I also attended welding school with him. And fortunately, I was able to come home, and I'm now in the local 198 out of Baton Rouge welding. And I've always kept in touch with Troy, and I've always told Troy, if you just continue to get yourself better and stop calling me with, man, this happened, and get yourself together, there's an opportunity that you could come on this side, and I could definitely get you into the union, and you would never look back. And I've spoken to my business agent at the union, and they also are on board with getting Troy in if he is given the opportunity to come home and weld, because he's been welding for so long, and I know he can weld because he was there with me. And to cut it short, I understand that in Troy's past that, you know, he intends to slip at times. I understand that because I get on Troy also. But I know within the last 18 months, man, Troy has really changed. And when he calls me, it's like sometimes I'm like, Troy, is this really you? Because he's really a different person. And I'm not saying that just because I love Troy like a brother. I'm saying that because this is really who he is. He's 52 years old, been incarcerated the bulk of his life. And there is just so much more on this side of life that I know he will be an asset to society. And I just beg you guys just to give him a chance, just to show you that he will be one of your best assets if you do grant him parole. I would go to the point where I would write a progress letter for you guys every day for a year straight, just to show that he will be in well hands. I know you guys don't know me from Adam and Eve, but I am a true person that could show that when you're incarcerated and you come home and do the right thing, that there is no looking back. I have his back 100%. I will do whatever needs to be done from you guys, whatever you want me to do to help him. But I'm just begging you guys that you guys just give him a chance, because 25 years is a long time. I understand there is no set date on that because there is victims. I do understand that. I do apologize for him for the harm he might have caused for the individual going to counseling. And if there's anything I could do to even help them, I don't have a problem with that. But I do know, in short, that Troy will be one of the best parolees that you guys granted, just because in the future you guys will be like, you know what, we did make a good move by giving him the opportunity. I mean, that's all I could ask for. And I know he is dying for you guys to say yes. But I'm just telling you, from a person that really knows him, the last thing I have to say is, about 18 months ago, we had a talk about that. And I just asked him, because he had got his last write-up that you guys were speaking on. And I told him, well, do you just want me to send you $50 a month and then we go stop worrying about you even trying to come home? I said, because it doesn't make sense on what you're doing. You're older. And from that conversation, Troy has really changed. And it's unreal, because I was there with him and I know how Troy is. So with that said, I just pray that you guys just give him a chance. I beg that you guys just give him an opportunity to show you. And I promise you, if Troy even so much gets a traffic ticket, I will bring him back to the front door and say, take him back in there. This is how for sure I know that he will succeed in society. And I have his back, and my union, Local 198, has his back 100% on that. And I thank you guys for allowing me to speak. And once again, I just beg you guys just to please just give him an opportunity just to get back to society. And I thank you guys again.
Thank you, Mr. Swan. Now we'll hear from Mr. Gregory Laverne. Step up to that podium, sir. Just introduce yourself and tell us what you'd like us to know.
Good morning. I am Gregory Laverne from Mr. Grimes. When I met Troy, he was already in LTI, and I had visited him with his mother. I took his mother to sleep. And when I met Troy, I really didn't like him at first. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I told him,
Please do.
I really didn't like Troy. You know, I just didn't like him. And then when he finally came home, we grew a relationship. But it wasn't the type of relationship that you would have with friends. It was really just drugs. We was all doing drugs. It was the time to where drugs was in. And we ran crazy. We did. We had no nothing. We had no repercussions, nothing. We just ran. And Troy was so young, you know, he was like getting out of prison and coming right back into another prison, but not a physical. It was more mental. Because the things that we was doing, we were going to die, but we were going to prison. Well, I ended up going to jail and getting help through his mother. His mother gave me hope when it was nothing. I got out and I promised her I would change. And I did. I was 32 years old. I started the business. I've been running that business every since. So I know what Troy did. I feel bad for Troy because I know he never had changed. He never even, I'm talking about now, he didn't have zero chance, but I know I didn't. And the only reason that I feel that I'm here today is because of what God has shown me through the suffering. Not through me getting better and changing my life. It was through suffering that I went through. Because through suffering, you're able to understand people better than see yourself. Because people see you as the way they do, God sees you differently. So I was giving all my power to the people, expecting them to feel a certain kind of way about me changing. Nobody gonna feel nothing about the change. Nobody gonna do nothing about the change. They're gonna stay the same. You guys gonna stay the same. Everybody's gonna stay the same. He comes to Troy and set him free. He's free already. The court can't hold you, can't nobody hold you. When God, okay, when God gets you ready, guess what? Yeah, I'm ready. And I know this. I'm not here just because he's my brother-in-law and I want to see him come home. I'm here because I'm telling you the truth about it. He deserves a second chance. And I'm not begging for it. I thank God for it because he already gave it. It's waiting on y'all, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Now we'll hear from Miss Ordana Winbush.
How y'all doing?
Good.
My name is Ordana Winbush. I am coming as a friend of Troy's, but I am a friend who was invoked by some decisions that Troy made. I also have a brother that's incarcerated. I am a community activist in the community as well. I learned so much from Troy. He's helped me in my career path with building programs inside of the organization. I have a mentoring piece called Emerging Diamonds, which are for my young ladies, and Diamonds in the Rough, which are for my young men. And he's given me a way to design my syllabus for when they come in, just reinforcements for them, things that I wouldn't think of because I'm not someone who's incarcerated. I'm not someone who had the traumatic childhood that he did that some of our kids are experiencing now. I am proud of the person that he is. I congratulate him, and I'm thankful for this opportunity to speak on his behalf because deep in my heart, I feel that he would be an asset to society. Stickup Louisiana is an organization, we're a social justice reform organization. My piece is education justice. And you know the way that the prison and the education system is designed for a pipeline to prison. If at the age of 8, if you cannot read on level, there are building prisons everywhere all over the United States based on your reading level. So many kids aren't given a chance. It's already in design that if you can't read by the age of 8, which is 3rd grade, you're going to go to prison. So with that in mind, the education justice piece, it's just informing our families of how to empower our kids and also make them better citizens. But again, I thank you for the opportunity, and I pray that you would have grace and mercy.
Thank you very much. Mr. Grimes, is there anything you'd like to say before the board votes?
Yes. Transitioning from a very lost and destructive man that I have been all my life, into someone who has recognized all the harm, not all, but most of the harm that I have done, and how my actions have stretched far and beyond not only people's lives, but the community, insurance rates, the way the police patrol the streets. I know all this comes from my actions and my criminal activity. Realizing that, I have come into a point in my life where I no longer want to be a part of these destructive maneuvers. I no longer want to be a part of the downgrade of the community. I no longer want to be a part of everything that's just going wrong. Right now, I try my best to build, because it doesn't take no thinking to destroy. And that's what I have been trying to do for the past couple of years, even within my bad decisions, I have always tried to better myself and build something positive among myself and among the people who I've been involved with. If given this opportunity, I just wanted, hopefully, to live the rest of my life as a free man. If given the opportunity, I know I can go and live my life. I can work every day of the week. I'm very healthy. I can come make a change, not only in the community with Dane and her program, but also I'm willing to work with the parole board. I'm willing to work with DOC. I'm willing to work with the district attorney. I'm willing to work with the people who deserve help with everything that's going on in the world, because we're killing out there senselessly. I have committed crimes senselessly all my life, and that's not the person who I want to be anymore. That's not the person who I'm striving to be anymore. I'm striving to do better. And if given that opportunity, I won't let you down. You would not go back regretting releasing me. Please, I beg you, give me that opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Grimes. We appreciate your comments. Panel ready to vote?
I recommend executive session to discuss confidential matters related to this case.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Please call the roll. Yes.
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 We're going to be at a short recess. The time is 10:42. We're going to go into executive session to discuss matters of a confidential nature. We will resume as soon as that executive session is concluded. So we'll be at a short recess.
A few minutes later.
The Committee on Parole is called back to order. The time is 10:49. We're back from executive session. Panel ready to vote?
Yes, I'm ready to vote.
Ms. Wise?
Mr. Grimes, you're a difficult case. For me, you're a difficult case. Trying to process. I'm a retired probation parole officer, and when I look at your history, look at what you're still doing in jail. I don't see it. For me, my vote is to deny because of your poor supervision history. I need to see a longer time right up free. It's just me now. I'd like to see a longer time right up free. Believe it or not, we got guys at Angola has gone 20 years, 25 years without a write-up. Long as you've been doing time, you know how to avoid write-ups, and you have not built that with the staff. That's concerning for me as a retired probation parole officer. That's what, and I do commend the support that you have, and I urge you to reapply as soon as you're eligible for a rehearing. All that loss of good time, 384 days of good time, and the law enforcement opposition. For those reasons, my vote is to deny. But again, I urge you to stay the course and reapply as soon as you're eligible for a rehearing.
Thank you.
That's my vote, Chairman.
Thank you, Ms. Wise. Mr. Freeman?
Okay, Mr. Grimes, I look at your case, and you do have a long criminal history, but this is the first time you did hard time. I bet you other times what you did, maybe 1 or 2 years, and we get out, get revoked, get out, get revoked. So that means you didn't get it the last time. But the thing is, to me, you served 25 years on a robbery that netted you, what, $25, $22, something like that? Which is not lessening the offense. I mean, like you say, sticking a gun in somebody's face, that's not good. Which, by the way, that victim was not opposed. They left it to the parole board. Your fourth felony offender, and I'm retired probation and parole too, by the way. So I don't know what's gonna make me do this, but I'm gonna give you a shot. I'm gonna vote to grant, but I'm gonna put a curfew on you from 9 to 6 with electronic monitoring for the first 6 months. If you violate that curfew, I'll have no problem at all putting you back in jail. You have to be out before for work or after for work, church services or medical appointments. Give it to your probation officer. Don't try to tell them after you've done it. That's too late. Okay? So that's also I want you to get evaluated for treatment. I know you hadn't used drugs in 25 years, but once a drug addict, And when you get back on the streets, it can get right back to you. So I would like to see you get evaluated for treatment and follow any recommendations that they have.
Thank you. Mr. Grimes, the case is a very difficult case. I'll be honest with you. I agree with everything both of my colleagues have said. You gave a good interview. You've been in jail for 25 years, you're 52 years old. I'm going to tell you what swung it for me, and that is Mr. Swan. You've got someone who is a mentor, who's going to help you when you get out, someone who's been with you the whole time, someone who is working with you, and I hope you take advantage of it. You've got a lot of bad marks on you. Your disciplinary record, certainly, I've denied people for better disciplinary records than what you've got. But I think I see something with all of the time that you've served, with the support that you've got. So my vote likewise would be to grant, with the following conditions: a curfew from 9 to 6, electronic monitoring, substance abuse evaluation, and follow whatever treatment is recommended. I'm also gonna require that you go to at least 3 AA meetings per week, at least for the first 6 months until you get acclimated. And I'm also going to require that you report weekly to your parole supervisor for the first 90 days to make sure that everything is all going well. He has 2 votes. I think that's sufficient to grant his parole. So your parole has been granted today. So good luck.